close your eyes for a second. Actually, don't. You need to see this. Imagine two people, same age, same job, same salary, both just hit $20,000 in savings on the exact same day. 10 years later, one of them is financially free. The other is still living paycheck to paycheck, wondering where it all went. Same starting point, completely different ending. And the only difference between them, what they did in the next 90 days after hitting that number. 90 days, not 10 years of discipline, not some secret investment strategy, not a lucky break or a rich uncle, just 90 days and one decision. Now, here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. Most people who hit $20,000 make the wrong call every single time. Not because they are stupid, not because they are lazy, but because nobody ever told them what that moment actually is. See, $20,000 is not a destination, it is a test. A test that most people fail, not because they do not care about money, but because the wrong choice feels completely logical, completely reasonable, completely earned, right up until the moment it destroys everything they built. And the worst part, by the time most people realize what happened, the damage is already done. The money is gone, the opportunity has passed, and the version of their life that was possible is now just a number they will never see again. This video is about making sure that does not happen to you, but only if you stay until the end. Because the most dangerous part of this story is not what you think it is. Before we get into the traps, let us talk about what $20,000 actually is in today's world. Because most people either overestimate it or underestimate it, and both mistakes are equally expensive. On one hand, $20,000 feels like a lot. It is more than most people have saved at any point in their lives. In the UK, the average person under 35 has less than $5,000 in savings. In the US, that number is not much better. So, if you have hit $20,000, you are already ahead of most people your age, and that is genuinely worth acknowledging. But here is the other side of that. $20,000 in 2026 is not what $20,000 was 10 years ago. A decade of inflation means your $20,000 today has roughly the same purchasing power as $14,000 did in 2016. The number looks the same, the reality is quietly smaller. And this matters because of what $20,000 cannot do anymore. It cannot buy you a house. In most UK or US cities, a deposit alone requires double or triple that. It cannot cover a major emergency and still leave you with a meaningful buffer. It cannot retire you, free you, or replace your income for more than a few months. What it can do is something far more powerful than any of those things. If handled correctly, $20,000 is the exact amount needed to start compounding seriously. To go from someone who is saving money to someone whose money is working, that shift from saver to investor is one of the most important financial transitions a person can make. And $20,000 is right on the edge of it, which is exactly why what happens next matters so much. So, here is the first trap. And it is the sneakiest one because it does not feel like a trap at all. It feels like progress. The moment most people hit $20,000, something subtle happens to their spending. The grocery brand they used to avoid suddenly seems fine. The gym upgrade they kept putting off suddenly feels justified. The slightly nicer apartment that was always just out of reach suddenly seems reasonable now. None of these feel like big decisions. None of them feel reckless or irresponsible. Each one individually makes complete sense. But here is what is actually happening. Your lifestyle is inflating quietly, gradually, one completely reasonable decision at a time. And the cruel thing about lifestyle inflation is that it moves in one direction only. You can upgrade your life very easily, but downgrading feels like failure. So once the nicer apartment is normal, it stays normal. Once the better gym is part of the routine, canceling it feels like going backwards. And before you know it, your monthly expenses have quietly climbed by $300, $400, maybe $500. Not because you made one big reckless decision, but because you made 20 small, reasonable ones. And now that $20,000 you saved, instead of compounding and growing, is being quietly used to subsidize a lifestyle your previous income could not support. The savings stopped growing, the buffer stops building, and 12 months later, you look at your account and wonder why the number looks exactly the same as it did before. This is lifestyle inflation. It does not announce itself. It does not ask permission. It just moves in and makes itself at home, while your financial future quietly pays the rent. All right, so let us talk about the second trap. And this one is louder, more exciting, and significantly more dangerous than the first, because this one comes with a story. The car trap. You have been driving the same car for years. It is fine. It works. It gets you there. But now you have $20,000 sitting in your account, and suddenly that car feels embarrassing. So you use $5,000 as a deposit on something newer. Finance the rest and tell yourself it is an investment in your image, your confidence, your professional appearance. The car feels amazing for about 3 weeks. Then the monthly payment becomes just another bill. The insurance goes up, the maintenance costs arrive, and that $20,000 buffer you spent years building is now a liability that costs you money every single month. Or the holiday trap. You have not had a proper break in years. You have been disciplined. You have been grinding. You deserve this. So you spend $4,000 on 2 weeks that genuinely feel incredible and come back to an account that now reads $16,000 with nothing to show for it except a tan that fades in 3 weeks. Or the investment trap, the most painful one. A friend, a family member, someone who seems to know what they are talking about tells you about an opportunity, crypto, a business idea, a property deal, something that sounds like the right moment, and you put $10,000 in because finally you have enough to actually do something, and then it is gone. Not all traps look dangerous. Some of them look exactly like the thing you've been waiting for. That is what makes them traps. So why does this keep happening? Why do smart, disciplined people who worked hard enough to save $20,000 in the first place make these exact same mistakes over and over again? The answer is not stupidity and it is not weakness. It is something called a scarcity to abundance mindset shift. And it happens automatically the moment your account hits a number that feels significant. For most people, $20,000 is the first time in their adult life they have felt genuinely financially comfortable. And that feeling after months or years of saying no, of watching every purchase, of feeling the quiet anxiety of a thin bank balance, that feeling of finally having enough is one of the most powerful psychological forces in personal finance. Because the brain does not experience $20,000 as an investment opportunity. It experiences it as relief, and relief wants to express itself. It wants to celebrate, reward, upgrade, exhale. It has been waiting a long time to do that. And here's the trap inside the trap. The brain is very good at finding logical reasons to justify emotional decisions. So the car becomes an investment in your career. The holiday becomes necessary for your mental health. The risky investment becomes a calculated opportunity. Every emotional decision gets dressed up in the language of logic. And by the time you realize what happened, the money is already gone and the justifications are the only thing left. This is not a character flaw. This is just how human psychology works under financial pressure. The people who get $20,000 right are not smarter or more disciplined. They just knew this moment was coming. And they had a plan before the feeling arrived. So what does getting it right actually look like? Because this video is not just about showing you the traps. It is about making sure you never fall into them. And the fix is simpler than you think. But it requires doing something most people never do. Making the decision before the emotion arrives. Here is the framework that actually works. The moment you hit $20,000, split it immediately into 3 buckets. Do not think about it. Do not wait until it feels right. Do not consult your feelings. Just split it. Bucket 1, your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This money is not for investing, not for opportunities, not for anything except genuine emergencies. Put it somewhere boring and leave it there. For most people, this is between $6,000 and $10,000 depending on your monthly expenses. Bucket 2, your investment foundation. This is the money that starts working for you. A simple, low-cost index fund, a stocks and shares ISA if you're in the UK, a Roth IRA if you're in the US. Set it up, automate a monthly contribution, and do not touch it. Bucket 3, your life fund, a small, guilt-free amount for something that actually matters to you. Not an impulse, not a reaction, something you consciously choose. This is important because sustainability matters. You cannot live in permanent deprivation and expect good decisions forever. The key is that this decision gets made before the feelings arrive, because once the feelings arrive, the buckets disappear and the justifications begin. Decide now while your head is clear, so that when the moment comes, the plan is already in place. Let us talk about the real number now. 2 people both hit $20,000 at age 27. Person A gets the car, $5,000 deposit, $400 a month in finance payments. Insurance goes up by $100 a month. That is $500 a month leaving their account for the next 4 years. Person B puts $15,000 into a low-cost index fund and keeps $5,000 as an emergency buffer. Fast forward 10 years. Person A is 37. They have paid off the car, bought another one, paid that off too, and have roughly $8,000 in savings after a decade of working. Person B is also 37. Their $15,000 investment at average market returns has grown to somewhere between $38,000 and $45,000 without adding a single extra dollar after the initial investment. That gap between $8,000 and $45,000 is not the result of different salaries, different opportunities, or different levels of discipline. It is the result of one decision made in the first 90 days after hitting $20,000. And here is what makes it sting even more. Person A did not feel like they were making a bad decision. They felt like they had earned it, like they deserved it, like it was finally their time. And in the moment, maybe they did deserve something, but deserving something and affording the long-term cost of it are 2 completely different things. The car gave person A 3 weeks of excitement and 4 years of payments. The index fund gave person B a financial foundation that will keep compounding for the rest of their life. Same starting point, same $20,000, same age, completely different futures, all from one decision made in 90 days. This is Regretomics. See the regret before you sign.